You ready, Gary? You want anything to eat?
How long are they going to be living here?
Not much longer, I think.
Well, I was just thinking. It's getting pretty crowded here.
Oh, it's not so crowded. There's a lot more room since they shaved their heads.
Well, I was just thinking maybe I could stay with Dad for a while.
What?
Well, I've been here a long time. Maybe I should live with him for a while.
You want to live with your father?
Kind of.
Have you talked to your father about that?
No, not yet. I thought I'd call him.
Honey, you know, you don't know your father like I do.
I don't know him at all. What's his number?
Well, he'd be at work now. So that's 206 5790.
Yeah, it's Dr. Lampkin there. His son. No, Dad, it's not Joey. It's Gary, your other son. Well, I need to ask you something. It'll just take a second. Well, would it be okay if I stay with you for a while? A few months? Okay.
Oh, Andy, shit.
You didn't think it was such a good idea.
Oh, sweetie.
I gotta go.
Maybe you could go into the college courses with me. That'll be the day. Why not? You're smart enough. They won't let me. What do you mean? It's the way that people think of my family in this town. It's the way they think of me. I'm just one of those low-life Chambers kids. That's not true. Oh, it is. No one even asked me if I took the milk money that time. I just got a 3-day vacation. Did you take it? Yeah, I took it. You knew I took it. Teddy knew I took it. Everyone knew I took it. Even Vern knew it, I think. Maybe I was sorry and I tried to give it back. You tried to give it back? Maybe. Just maybe. And maybe I took it to old lady Simons and told her, and the money was all there. But I still got a 3-day vacation because they never showed up. And maybe the next week, old lady Simons had this brand new suit on when she came to school. Yeah, it was brown and had dots on it. Yeah. So let's just say that I stole the milk money, but old lady Simons stole it back from me. Just suppose that I told this story. Me, Chris Chambers, kid brother to Eyeball Chambers. Do you think that anyone would have believed it? Oh. And do you think that that bitch would have dared tried something like that if it'd been one of those douchebags from up on the View if they had taken the money? No way. Hell no. But with me? Well, I'm sure she had her eye on that skirt for a long time. Anyway, way. She saw her chance and she took it. I was the stupid one for even trying to give it back. Just never thought. I never thought a teacher. Oh, gives a fuck anyway. I just wish that I could go someplace where nobody knows me.
I'd like to talk with you. I mean, I'd like to really talk with you. And we're talking right now, but, you know, I don't know. I don't feel like I can be... I don't feel like I can be close to you. I mean, we're close. Right now, we're close, but, I mean, you know...
How close? I mean...
I don't know, whatever.
What?
What do I mean to you?
What do you mean to me? Mike, you're my best friend.
I know, man. I know I'm your friend. We're good friends, and it's good to be, you know, good friends. That's a good thing.
So
I just... That's okay. We can be friends.
I only have sex with a guy for money.
Yeah, I know.
And two guys can't love each other.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, for me, I could love someone even if I, you know, wasn't paid for it. I love you and you don't pay me.
Mike.
I really want to kiss you, man. Good night, man. I love you, then.
Are you ready to do your duty for Rome?
Yes, Father.
You will not be emperor.
Which wiser older man is to take my place?
My powers will pass to Maximus, to hold in trust until the Senate is ready to rule once more. Rome is to be a republic again.
Maximus.
Yes. My decision disappoints you?
You wrote to me once, listing the 4 chief virtues: wisdom, justice, fortitude, and temperance. As I read the list, I knew I had none of them. But I have other virtues, Father. That can be a virtue when it drives us to excel. Resourcefulness, courage, perhaps not on the battlefield, but there are many forms of courage. Devotion to my family, to you. But none of my virtues won your list. Even then, it was as if you didn't want me for your son.
Oh, Commodus. You go too far.
I searched the faces of the gods for ways to please you, to make you proud. One kind word, one full hug, where you pressed me to your chest and held me tight. Would have been like the sum of my heart for 1,000 years. What is it in me you hate so much? All I've ever wanted was to live up to you. Caesar. Father.
Commodus? You're false as a son. Is my failure as a father. I would put to the whole world if you would only love me.
I can't really explain why I understand what I understand. I just do. And to try to figure it out, I think, would kind of ruin it, you know. I want to leave it like a mine of gold, you know, without ever mining it, you know, and selling it. I don't want to sell it off. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to understand it in a way that will exploit the pureness. So I just leave it. I don't understand it, but I believe it.
Sometimes you're just in the moment and you're reacting to something that, at least for me, I don't fully understand what it is. I don't really want to. And that's what I love about it. I have such hesitation and fear about working is because I know that I'm going to have to experience public humiliation. And I don't want to, because who does? But I know that, like, for me, nothing's going to come of it. Nothing's going to come of the work unless I have that experience, because it's just, you have to get to, at least I do, have to get to a place where that's losing myself. You know what I mean? That's not being in character, right? It's like not having control over how people perceive me or whether they think that I'm like good or talented or whatever. I mean, on every movie, there's a point where I'm sure that the crew's going, how did this fucking guy get this one? Like, how is he still have a job? I don't know what this is. I don't know what the best route is. I don't know what the best thing is to say. But I know that when I'm trying to control it, that's definitely not the right thing.
I really don't think about how a part's going to do for my career. It's how I can do for the part. And so I really hadn't really given it much thought concerning if it was a good career move or what. I want to be a cruel bastard in my next. No, I mean, I think that there's all different shades and different sides to the roles that I've played so far. So I don't think that I've fallen into any certain set type.
My job is to provide a service in a way. And I, yeah, whatever the who cares, man? She came home and very excitedly was like, you've got to see this movie. And through my brother and his understanding and appreciation of that kind of acting, I think it just like awakened something in me, and I suddenly could see it through his eyes, and I was just deeply affected by De Niro in particular. And there's a part in Raging Bull where De Niro meets a girl in between the chain link fence, and he shakes her pinky.
Nice to meet you.
And it's like this just beautiful little detail. It's this wonderful moment, and I think that in some ways is what I'm always looking for. What are the possibilities? What more can we say about our experience, a human experience, in this moment?
Aren't you getting to the age when, like your character, it might be time to...
Don't say that, please.
Okay, I won't.
I'm trying to ignore that about me getting old. God.
Everyone on this set, everyone has said the same thing. You're terrific. You're a terrific actor and a wonderful kid. That's true.
Really?
Everyone, yeah.
How much did you pay him?
Well, I've been taking things that I don't wanna take, slamming other doors and feelings breaking me down. The feeling never lasts, I need to satiate the feeling that I had before you took me right down. Having you when it starts to get a small high, a short amount of time before the birds fly by. The lighting in your room was always too low. We said our goodbyes before we said hello. A small space, you changed me. In a crowded place, you isolated me.
Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess.
While you've been throwing shadows on a long flight, just pulling my feet under, move my face from side. The feeling always linger past the comfortable stage. Make stories up in my head, you can question them now. I touch you in the dark for satisfaction, aside from a sentimental attraction. The lighting in your room is always scarlet. Just tell me something right, babe, and I'll believe it. A small space, you changed me. In a crowded place, you isolated me.
Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth, it'll hurt less, I guess. Just tell me the truth.
River was sort of frustrated, like he didn't feel like he was connecting to the scene. He wasn't like really, he just wasn't there, he felt. So I said, well, I'll let you talk to the director, and I'll just, I'm going to leave now. I'm going to walk away and go play Mattel handheld football or something. And they came back, and River was really different. There was something just profoundly different about him. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit. And we shot the scene, and River was very much a different person for the duration of that scene. I found out later that he was just saying to Rob, I don't know how to do this. And Rob said, I just want you to think about a time where someone really wronged you, where someone did a really terrible thing to you and no one would stand up for you. And I guess River had a moment like that in his life. And if you think about it, like, River's parents were in like a couple of different weirdo cults when he was growing up. And so he spent time during his formative years where, as a child, you want your parents to sort of be protecting you, like playing the guitar in the street in South America or Central America or something like that to, like, you know, feed his family and stuff, you know? And when River came back from around the corner to film that scene, he had this emotional weight around him that freaked me out at the time, because, like, as a little kid, like, I didn't know what to do with that, you know? And when the scene was done, he was sort of quiet for the rest of the day, and then was sort of back to the way he had always been the very next day.
We got an agent, Iris Burton, who's in the audience.
Oh, I know Iris, yes. She's a nice lady.
Yes, and
a good agent.
Very good agent.
So how'd you get such a good agent?
Give me this ring.
Oh, let's see. I'll trade you.
It feels so nice to get out of Los Angeles, no offense, but in my situation now, I wouldn't want to be here, and I'd probably be a lot different if I would have hung out here, and if I would have, you know, been invited to too many publicity parties, and if I would have taken them up on the offer. You know, it's just something that you got to stay away from, and I don't mean publicity parties, but, you know, just like, there's a certain, you know, showbiz crowd, you know, and everyone wants to, people that are in showbiz, they all get together and they get into their own little world that I find quite icky, and I feel like it's something that I want to shed.
It's nice though having the family unit and the support.
That's the flip side, I suppose. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you have to keep things fairly near the surface to protect yourself from getting too hurt, you do have to have something that's deeper, and that would tend to be more than the average person, I suppose, than the family?
Yeah, it is. I think the family, and yourself. You know, I mean, in many ways, you rely on your imagination, and you dig deeper into your mind for company and for security. When I see rushes, I'm not there as character watching the rushes, because then that makes you self-conscious. If you're there as River watching something that you're detached from, it confirms who that character is and just makes that image more vivid in your mind, so you can go into that, and it helps me a lot. It really enforces my character. It really upsets me, and I'm basically upset at myself for being as naive and gullible as I have been in the past, as far as being intimidated by you know, the stylists with the wardrobe and the hairdos and the poses and the this and that and all this stuff that isn't me. Press is always looking for a little twist to a story, and what I've learned is it all turns out very superficial, so you need to become what they want. You need to give what they put out. Okay, show it if you have to. I don't care. What am I going to do? I'm just a salesman. I'm just selling this movie, and show the scene.
We want to make this film.
You and who wanted to make
Casey Affleck.
Yeah, right. Who knew about it? Whose idea was it?
It was both of our idea.
And the idea being what?
Well, we wanted to do a film that explored celebrity and explored the relationship between the media and the consumers and the celebrities themselves. And, you know, we wanted something that would feel really authentic. I started watching a lot of reality shows, and I was amazed that people believed them, that they called them like reality. I thought the only reason why is because it's billed as being real, right, and the people use their real names. But the acting is terrible.
It seems orchestrated. I'll give you that. It seems orchestrated. It seems manipulated.
I thought I could handle that. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to be very good.
Right.
And you just use your name, and people think that it's real. Right. So it was just this idea that we had, and to be frank, we didn't really know how the media or the public was going to respond. I mean, when I first made the announcement that I was retiring, which I thought in and of itself was a joke, you know, because you have a 35-year-old that says he's retiring from acting.
Yes. Yeah.
But I didn't really know if anyone would care, and frankly, I assumed that they wouldn't.
See you. Thank you very much for being on the program again. You know, it's been 3 years since the last time you were on the show, and I will just say right off the top here, you look different than I remember you. But you're not going to act anymore?
No.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know.
Joaquin, what will you do now?
Well, I've been working on my music.
Music? Well, you know, when I saw you in Walk the Line, I said, this guy is tremendous. He's singing, and it sounded great. So is that the kind of music you're interested in?
No, I do more hip-hop music.
Hip-hop music.
Is this a joke? What do you have them on?
I'm sorry?
What do you gas them up with? Just nitrous kicking around in the street?
The kid in the front is drunk on warm Pepsi. And Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
What's going on with you?
Nothing. I just want to retire from being the funny guy. So.
You look like you work at a Hasidic meth lab. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe cinematography?
Oh, I hope that works out for you.
I'm going to do my Joaquin Phoenix thing. I'm as giddy as Joaquin Phoenix with a
Oh, he's gonna be a rapper now.
prescription pad.
You
You know?
better call Puff Daddy to get
Phoenix is trying his hand at being a rapper. Joaquin
Nice shot.
Phoenix
Earlier
is
this
mental.
month, you might recall, actor Joaquin Phoenix made a rather odd appearance to the market.
What the hell happened to him?
Well, everybody, looks like Joaquin Phoenix is finished.
Oh, how time flies with crystal clear eyes and cold as gold when you're ending with diamond eyes. Oh, come, child, in a crossbone style. Oh, come, child, come and rescue me. 'Cause you have seen some unbelievable things. Hey, I have your diamonds and still "'Cause you have seen some unbelievable things. Hey, I have your diamonds. Oh, come, child, in a crossbone style. Oh, come, child, come and rescue me. 'Cause you have seen some unbelievable things.
You think men like Thomas Wayne ever think what it's like to be someone like me? To be somebody but themselves? They don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
You finished? I mean, there's so much self-pity, Arthur. You sound like you're making excuses for killing those young men. Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video, inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me.
I really specifically wrote for Joaquin Phoenix. What I like about Joaquin is his unpredictability. He's playing jazz while other people are doing math. He's just doing his own thing. And I feel like that's very much what we saw the character of Arthur / Joker as. And I just thought, boy, if we get him, we could really do something special. We never rehearsed the character. We never talked really specifically about what he would do. All we really talked about was script and story and character, but we never talked about how are you going to do it, you know what I mean? I think his process is one of surprise for himself. We've been editing this movie for so long because there's 18 trillion versions of this movie just based on the way he would do things so differently every time. You would come over to him and give him one line of direction and it would literally change everything in a great way. And he was just never locked into one thing.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
Hey, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, come on, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, get a rock and roll feeling in your bones, get taps on your toes and get going, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, a little shoeshine boy never gets slowed down when he's got the dirtiest job in town, bending low at the people's feet on a windy corner of a dirty street. Well, I asked him while he shined my shoes how to keep from getting the blues. He grinned as I raised his little head. He popped a shoe shine rag and then he said, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, come on and get a rhythm. When you get the blues, yes, a jump to rhythm makes you feel so fine. It'll shake all the trouble from your worried mind. Get a rhythm. When you get the blues. Slapped on the shoe polish left and right. He took a shoe shine rag and he held it tight. He stopped once to wipe the sweat away. I said, you're mighty little boy to be working that away. He said, I like it with a big wide grin. Kept on a popping and he said again, get a rhythm. When you get the blues, come on and get a rhythm. When you get the blues, it only costs a dime, just a nickel a shoe. It does $1 million worth of good for you. Get a rhythm. When you get the blues.
I was so fucking drunk. I was so fucking drunk. I was drunk since I was a fucking kid. It was so embarrassing. I know, because I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel wanted, so I tried to cover up my feelings, and it worked. My alienation from my father. I hated his guts since I was 11. Extended itself to my whole family. One Christmas, at the dinner table, there was a disturbance, and Tommy, who was some 5 years younger than me, screamed. Whenever my dad punished one of my siblings, instead of me, it gave me a guilt-free excuse to condemn him. I guess that was a big thing, you know? I never felt a part of them. I never felt like I was one of them. That's how I fucking drank my way out of those feelings. I became such a fuck up that I won't ever forgive them. I mean, they won't ever forgive me for all the stupid shit I did.
What did you just say?
They won't
forgive me for all the stupid shit I did.
That they won't forgive you or you won't forgive them?
That they won't forgive me.
You said that you won't forgive them.
I mean, what would I have to forgive them for? Forgive them for?
Seizures on Sunset and Larrabee. Please come here.
Okay, calm down a little bit, okay? What's the address where you need us?
It's Sunset and Larrabee. It's at the Viper Room.
Sir, calm down a little bit, okay?
I'm sorry. It's my brother. Please come here.
How old is he?
He's 23.
Calm down, okay? If you can't calm down, give the phone to somebody else.
No, there's no one else around.
Okay.
I'm fine. No, I think he had Valium or something. I don't know.
Who's with him right now?
My sister, the people.
Okay, can you talk to her from where you are?
She's trying to give him mouth to mouth.
Sir, calm down. Tell her not to give him mouth to mouth.
Don't give him mouth to mouth.
You only give him mouth to mouth if he's not breathing. What's he doing? Just seems like he's sleeping right now?
Yeah, he just looks like he's sleeping.
Okay, that's very normal, okay?
Yeah?
That's very normal. Sometimes, in fact, sometimes they do actually go to sleep. If he goes into another seizure, okay, and sometimes they do that, just let him have a seizure. Don't try and restrain him, all right?
Well, what about putting my hand in his mouth?
Do not put nothing in his mouth.
Okay.
Okay? He will not swallow his tongue. Believe me. You just let him go ahead and have a seizure. Paramedics are on their way. They should be there shortly.
Did you really carry me when I was asleep? Did you try to defend me when I was weak? Did you pick me up at a lonely night when the lights died out and I turned to the gray side? Did you carry me when I was asleep? Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Lean on me. Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Did you lie for me to keep me safe? Did you bear with me when I misbehaved? Far from here, could you feel my fear when the lights died out and I turned to the gray side? Did you lie for me to keep me safe? Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Lean on me. Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Words are falling down, frozen on the ground. I'm trying to stop the light. Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Lean on me. Now you're out on the bottomless sea, so it's time for you to lean on me. Lean on me.
Mystery still surrounds the death of River Phoenix. No one is saying exactly what caused the young actor to go into seizures at a nightclub and then die outside on the Sunset Strip.
It happened outside the Viper Room, a popular West Hollywood night spot. When he collapsed, his brother called 911.
He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where police say he died 50 minutes later.
At this point in time, the exact cause of death is still under investigation.
With much respect to River and his family, the Viper Room will be temporarily closed. Thank you.
Richard Dean Anderson, Phoenix's TV brother in the 1982 series 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, says when he learned of River's death, he felt like a real brother had died.
There was a bonding that had happened throughout the course of our working together, and sparse correspondence over the years that really kind of hurt when I realized that he was gone.
But what is most unsettling is River Phoenix's reputation for clean living. Around Micanopy, Florida, where his family lives, River Phoenix is remembered as a down-to-earth kid who was as far from Hollywood as they come.
The media wouldn't let not only River rest, but they wouldn't let his family rest.
Now, with his death, America's youth has transformed him into an immortal legend.